Hello children, I'm Neetu Sharma and I teach English in Government High School Kamalpur, District Sangrur. Today, we shall have a poetic session for the poem Open Thine Eyes and See Thy God, written by Rabindranath Tagore. Children, have you read any poem of Rabindranath Tagore in your previous class? Yes, we have read. That is, this is my prayer to thee, my Lord, in 8th standard. Before reciting the poem, let's have a brief overview of the profile of the poet. Rabindranath Tagore, who was born in 1861 and died at the ripe age of 80 in 1941. He was a multifaceted personality. He was a poet, playwright, prose writer, painter, and musician. His book Gitanjali won for him the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913. Gitanjali is a collection of 103 English poems. Dr. Radhakrishnan said about Tagore, his poetry is a light that fills the mind, a song that stirs the blood, and a hymn that moves the heart. Most of his work initially written by him in Bengali and later he translated them into English. Children, where do you go for worship? Yes, in temples. Do you go to temple daily? Yes, most of us go to temple daily. What do you do in a temple? We pray, offer flowers and incense sticks in the temple. Do you think you can find God in temples? In this poem, Tagore addresses his words to those people who believe they are worshipping God by making offerings in a temple. He is saying that the best way to serve God is to do the work that has been assigned to you in a committed manner. And when God sees your toil and your sweat, He will stand by you through thick and thin. Dear children, we are at the recitation session now. I will read the poem loudly for you. Listen it carefully. Leave this chanting and singing and telling of beads, whom those do worship in this lonely dark corner of a temple, with doors all shut. Open thine eyes and see thy God is not before thee. He is there where the tiller is tilling the hard ground, and where the path maker is breaking stones. He is with them in sun and in shower, and his garment is covered with dust. Put off thy holy mantle, and even like him, come down on the dusty soil. Deliverance? Where is this deliverance to be found? Our Master himself has joyfully taken upon him the bonds of creation. He is bound with us all forever. Come out of thy meditations and leave aside thy flowers and incense. What harm is there if thy clothes become tattered and stained? Meet him and stand by him in toil and in sweat of thy brow. Now, as you have heard the poem, let's recite the poem after me. Leave this chanting and singing and telling of beads. Whom dost thou worship in this lonely dark corner of a temple with doors all shut? Open thine eyes and see thy God is not before thee. He is there where the tiller is tilling the hard ground, and where the path maker is breaking stones. He is with them in sun and in shower, and his garment covered with dust. Put off thy holy mantle and even like him, come down on the dusty soil. Deliverance. Where is this deliverance to be found? Our Master Himself has joyfully taken upon Him the bonds of creation. He is bound with us. All forever. Come out of thy meditations and leave aside thy flowers and incense. What harm is there if thy clothes become tattered and stained? Meet Him and stand by Him in toil and in sweat of thy brow. Children, I hope now you have come to know little bit about the poem. Let's recite the poem together one more time, but with proper intonations. Leave this chanting and singing and telling of beads, whom those thou worship in this lonely dark corner of a temple with doors all shut. Open thine eyes and see thy God is not before thee. He is there where the tiller is tilling the hard ground and where the path maker is breaking stones. He is with them in sun and in shower, and His garment is covered with dust. Put off thy holy mantle, and even like Him, come down on the dusty soil. Deliverance. Where is this deliverance to be found? Our Master Himself has joyfully taken upon Him the bonds of creation. He is bound with us all forever. Come out of thy meditations and leave aside thy flowers and incense. What harm is there if thy clothes become tattered and stained? Meet him and stand by him in toil and in sweat of thy brow. Children, I hope you have enjoyed the poem. Let's now check out with difficult words present in the poem. Let's begin with first stanza. In the first stanza, we have word chanting, which means to sing a religious song continuously, a solemn, canticle or sacred text. Second difficult word is telling, which means to count. Next, beads, a small piece of glass, stone or similar material that is threaded with others to make a necklace or rosary. Worship, take part in a religious ceremony. Children, in the first stanza, we have some archaic words like dost, though, thine, thy, thee. These are old English words which are not used now these days. The meaning of dost is do. Though refers to you. Thine, your. Thy, your. Thee, you. Now let's come to second stanza. In second stanza, we have one very important word, tiller, which means a farmer. Tilling, to prepare and cultivate land for crops. Garment, an item of clothing. Shower, light fall of rain. Holy, sacred. Mantle, an important role or responsibility that passes from one person to another. Children, in the third stanza, in fact, if we can say that the third stanza begins with a very important word, that is deliverance. Deliverance, an action of being rescued or set free. Next important word is bonds, a force or feeling that unites people, bound to feel strongly attached to. Creation, the action or process of bringing something into existence. Now, here comes our last stanza, that is the fourth one. In fourth stanza, the very first word is meditations, which means the action of focusing one's kind for a period of time in silence or with the aid of chanting for religious or spiritual purposes, or as a method of relaxation. Incense, a gum, spice, or other substance that is burned for the sweet smell it produces. Tattered, old and torn. Stained, to mark or discolor with something that is not easily removed. Toil, exhausting physical labor. Brow, a person's forehead. Let's see how much you have understood the poem. Try to answer the following questions. Open thine eyes mean, first option, wake up. Second, see what is around him. Third, come out of ignorance. Fourth, realize that's morning. Yes, the right option is C. Come out of ignorance. Second question. According to poet, chanting, singing and telling of beads refers to meaningful, meaningless, sensible, worth doing. And the right option is meaningless. Children, here let's note down few important things about the poem. The poem consists of 4 stanzas. The first, second, and fourth stanza are made up of 3 lines each. The third stanza is made up of 2 lines. Hence, the entire poem consists of 11 lines total. This poem is written in the first person. Hence, we can assume that the speaker of the poem is the poet himself. Dear children, this is all for this session. In the next session, we will discuss the whole poem stanza-wise along with questions and answers. But before winding up, your task for today is to write down the difficult words from the poem and try to recite and learn the poem. See you soon.